Welcome back to the Success Blueprint. We are here today with Anthony Bohn, head coach of the Idaho Spud Kings. We're so excited to be with him today and to learn a little bit about the Spud Kings, what's going on with them, but also about him and what he sees success as being on the team. So welcome.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
So Anthony, we talked a little bit before, so you're from Florida. You've been playing hockey your whole life?
Yeah, my whole life. When the Tampa Bay Lightning came from expansion,
Okay.
1992, my parents are really from New York.
Okay.
And then that's how we got introduced to the sport, me and my brother, and then just, fell in love with it ever since.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you have a long history of hockey and coaching. Where were some of the places notable that you've been and lived and coached? And I know you've been all over, but
Yeah, everywhere. You want me to start from the beginning?
sure, you can rattle off
the highlights, whatever.
Yeah, no, like I coached, I was fortunate. Everywhere I've coached, I've been with really good people. So I've been lucky all the way through that. I loved my time in Maine because the downtown area is awesome and the food was great. And then you go the other extreme, I lived in El Paso, Texas for a while, and the weather was great and the food was unbelievable. So I loved it there. I did a year coaching in Atlanta. My kids were born in Atlanta, in downtown Atlanta, which that's special. And then, it's taken me everywhere, and good people, good spots, and now I'm here in Idaho Falls, and I'm lucky again. This place is incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When you talk about that you've been able to work with good people, what's some things that you've learned that's helped you be successful and, help you progressing in your coaching and things like that?
Yeah, I think just being around people that are aligned with your vision and goals as a coach, as an organization, and because of that, everyone's on the same page. Communication's good. Everyone's pulling the rope in that direction, so it makes things seamless. It's not that you don't disagree, everyone, but just being able to work through problems to get to solutions and keeping the main thing, that's what makes it special.
Right.
So I've been very fortunate all the way through that everyone is all aligned, all on board, and trying to make wherever I was at the best product possible.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the Spud Kings is still pretty new franchise. Yeah. I mean, been around what? Is this fifth season?
I think the fourth.
Fourth season. Okay. So fourth season, they've had some success early on. What do you attribute that to? I mean, obviously we had never had that before. I mean, hockey was fairly new to this area. A lot of fans are still probably trying to learn the sport.
Yeah.
And so what do you attribute that success to?
The same concept. When I got here last year, like you go to different spots and like there's always something that is lacking, something that they haven't got to yet in their progression as an organization or team. And here, walking into this facility and the staff that they have, and it was like, okay, we just need to put the right people in the right seats.
Okay.
And by doing that, it means everyone has their own role and what they provide. So when we actually got started, when we're putting together the staff, coming in, it was like, okay, probably the best fit for what we're going to need is an assistant coach that knows me and knows like the verbiage, what the culture and standard would be. Didn't care if he was a 20-year vet coach or first-year coach. And we have Joey Strada, who came in that I coached and recruited when I was coaching in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and he's been the perfect fit.
Oh, that's awesome.
And cool. He understands what we want, what we look like, and then you pencil in like Shane Clifford, who's our goalie coach, and John Buchanan, who's like our player development guy, and then you had Eric Hudson as our GM. Just the conjoining factors makes it go. And then when the players see that, they're taking their P's and Q's from us, and it just kind of went seamlessly.
That's awesome. So what is it that is the biggest challenge as far as kind of keeping that momentum going? Is it recruiting? I mean, you get a lot of good players, but then those good players a lot of times go up and go next levels and that. And so what's the biggest struggle that you're always working on?
Complacency.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, it's easy when it's new that you're driven, you're excited, you're right. And then I think the second piece of that is just bringing in the right people. Because if you have the right people, just like in business, like they care, which then makes the product better. Yeah. We did that last year, and that was really good. And we obviously had a really good year and won the whole thing, which is awesome. And
crazy.
So then from there, we brought back, I think it was 12 guys from that championship team. And the biggest hurdle we talked about early on was just being complacent. Like, last year doesn't have any effect on this year. And like, we're basically we got to do the same amount of work or even more to get to the same exact spot we got to last year. So just constantly reminding, constantly driving home that and I mean, we're in a different situation here. It's bigger than just the 25 guys in that room. Like the city, the fans, youth hockey, they're all coming and investing to pay to come watch us play. So when they walk in and they walk out, they're going to see a team that they're whether we win or lose, we're proud of it.
Right.
So that's been kind of what makes it go, and holding everybody accountable to that is also a daily occurrence, because they're 18, 19, 20 years old. Yeah. So
consistency is a struggle for everyone.
100%.
I don't care how old you are, right? I mean, consistency is hard.
Yeah.
So one thing that is, not to add pressure, but they build this amazing, building down here. And, it was you heard of concerts and things like that, but the biggest is the hockey. Yeah. And everybody was excited. And I don't know, I'm sure being the coach, but to season tickets, there's a wait list.
Oh, yeah.
So if I don't renew my season tickets,
somebody else is in line to get it
that fast. Yeah. They don't care whether or not I do or not, because there's a list of people, and that's what's pretty awesome, and that when you talk about that standard, and like Jason mentioned, this is new, and so they come in and hit the ground running and start, building this culture. What is some standards, or what is the key standards that you have for your guys, or that you tell your guys that, that keeps them getting better? Because I love the complacency.
Yep. And that's it. It's the standard of just fast, quick, competing, working hard, and we put them through a pretty rigorous day every day, where it includes working out, it includes practice, it includes individual video, it includes team video. So they're here from 9 to 4, so it's like a regular job.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just shifting through each category throughout the day, and I think just by keeping them structured through a day like that, you're seeing the improvements from each kid. And then obviously we hold a high standard for everybody that comes here, because it's not normal.
Right.
It's not normal. This is not normal. This is unique in every aspect. Yeah. And how they get treated here is unique. We have guys that have been other places that don't even come close to how we get treated here. And that comes with the responsibility of, hey, when we show up on Friday, Saturday night in the Mountain America Center, this is how we do it. Right. And if you're not going to do that, then that same list of season tickets, we have that same list of guys that are coming to Idaho Falls. So we tell them the term we use is don't be reckless with it. Yeah. You got an opportunity, some of these guys might have a chance in the National Hockey League, other guys won't. Right. We all wind up in the beer league at some point, we all do. Even NHL guys, when they're done playing the beer league. Yeah. So we're while you're here, this is your NHL. You're playing in front of 4,000 fans a night. You're living like an NHL player. Don't be reckless with it. Yeah. Put everything into it. Enjoy every second of it. But awesome. Just don't be reckless with it, and take advantage of it.
That's really cool. What's so you've seen, great players here. You've coached a lot of great players. What do you see that separates maybe the good from the great?
Yeah. I think a lot of self-motivation, the consistency, the difference between, let's say these guys versus, the 18, 19-year-old that's getting drafted to the NHL. Like, there is a difference in talent level, 100%. But, like, usually what starts to happen is, like, if this guy can just be consistent enough to just keep getting better, like, and if this guy doesn't, like, you're either getting better or getting worse. There's no staying the same. So then all of a sudden you might have to take a little bit longer to get to that point than this kid because of the talent discrepancy, but, like, it's going to eventually catch up. And then when it does, and if you can stick with it long enough, you'll have a chance.
So it's the old saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
No doubt. Yeah. No doubt. Like, we had a kid I coached in Maine, played Division III hockey. We were an expansion team. He was playing in the SPHL, which is below the ECHL, like the Grizzlies. And we needed a player. We called him up, played like half a season with us, then signed an American League contract, which is the level below the NHL, and was kind of going back and forth between us and the AHL. And then just because he stuck with it and was doing well, he got a chance to get one game and sit in Madison Square Garden, and then he got sent all the way back to us after. We were like, you won, man. Like, you won the lottery. Like that. Like, nobody, how many people on the planet can say, like, I was in a New York Rangers in Madison Square Garden? Like, geez, like, that's the point, And these guys, sometimes it's everyone's pressured to, like, get there fast, but it's run your race, man. Run your path and, like, believe in yourself. And if you love it enough, you'll stick with it. Yeah. And
love of the game and just wanting it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's why I still coach.
How do you differentiate the players because I'm sure all of them say they want it.
Oh,
how do you differentiate the ones that say they do and the ones that you can tell, okay, I can tell he actually does?
Yeah, like, the other thing we say is, I see better than I hear.
Ooh.
So
I love that.
I need to see it. Like, don't tell me that you want it or I need another chance but, like, okay, well, then you show me. I see better than I hear. And I think that's a great saying where it's just, like, you have every opportunity just like anybody else to come out here. Right. And then it's yours to take. And so, again, like, trying to teach them and give them the tools to, one, be self-aware enough to evaluate honestly to their game and how they handle their business, but then help them push in a direction to get there and then push them. And then every once in a while they need a little kick in the butt to figure it out, but it's good. And then that's why we're here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jason and I, running a real estate team, we're coaching agents, right? So we're coaching our players, and I love that it's like, before this, you probably come on and you're like, man, what the hell do I have to, in common? But everything's in common.
It's all common. Yeah.
And I love everything that you said, and just pushing people, and you have to believe it. And I love I see more than I hear, because everybody wants it, but it's hard for, I think, people to step in their comfort zone, out of their comfort zone of, I got to do things to be better.
100%.
So this is my goal. Who I am today is not going to be the person who hits that goal. Like, I have to make changes and I have to redirect myself. And
I just had a player that I coached in Chicago who is, funny enough, like, I watched him the first time. He was 16, and I was like, what? Like, am I the only one that's noticing, like, how good this kid is? So then I start talking to him and then start talking to his mom, and I'm like, you know how good you are, right? And he's like, well, no one really talked to me because I was smaller when I was younger. And I'm like, okay, well, like, no, dude, you're pretty good. Yeah. So finally convinced him to play for me in Chicago. was drafted in the USHL for the Chicago Steel. And then I have a really good friend that coaches at Western Michigan D1 school, and I told him, I was like, this might be somebody you want to look into, and sure, it just made the connection, and he got committed, and now he's playing at Western Michigan on the number 4 team in the nation, and you're like,
That's awesome.
but like that's a kid that just kind of got overlooked, but he's just stuck with it. I have another kid, his brother's actually coming to play for us. He's flying in tomorrow. His older brother's up at the University of Alaska, Anchorage, going on a visit. And he's another one that kind of took a little longer. And then he had to go like a longer path. He had to go play in Canada. Then he came back, and now he's on the verge of committing Division I. And you're like, that's, everyone wants to be Sidney Crosby, the 1% guy that just goes straight to it. Like, I would love that too, but like, the rest of us are just civilians. Like, so it's cool when you hear those stories, and it's like, and you hope that these guys kind of take it to heart too, because you're not done until you say you're done.
So how do you not overlook players? Like, how do you look for potential? How do you look for, somebody maybe that hasn't plateaued? Like, what is some of those things that when you're looking or scouting and you see that, what is it that you see?
There's certain qualities we look at that we care about, right? But then I'm not really, or I should say we really aren't recruiting on like straight potential. Because sometimes those are usually the guys that'll let you down. Like, if you have some like credibility to what you're doing or where you're playing at, because you are good enough to play there, then like I might be able to squeeze that out of you if you're showing that same drive that I am. So I don't rely entirely on potential, because is this going to be edited?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
We'll edit this part.
yeah, so the way we look at it, or like the way I explain it to other people, I'm like, like you got the hot girl, and like she's really good looking, but then she ends up being crazy. Yeah. And it's like, well, Jesus, I overlooked that part. That sucked. Like, so then you're like, okay, well, like over here, like I still think she's good looking, but like she's kind and she's got a job or whatever. You're like,
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like that's who I should be going for, not for surface. Like, this is, she doesn't do anything.
By the way, that shouldn't be edited. That's good stuff.
Okay.
That's a good analogy. That's okay. I didn't know where we were going with that, but I like.
I don't know if somebody was gonna get mad at that one, but like, it's the truth, right? And like it's funny because like they relate to girls, so like a lot of stuff we say, it's like,
Well, the hot girl too can become really ugly once you get to know them.
oh, 100%.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
The girl who you didn't notice at first, after you get to know them, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
she's beautiful. You know what I mean?
So like for you guys, like the guy comes in and he's feeling it, and he's like, yeah, I can sell you guys everything. And you're like, okay. Then he does nothing. You're like, what the hell? Like this. Yeah.
So I heard this
100%.
saying once, and I love it because it's the same thing. It's like the empty bottles make the most noise.
Yeah.
So we've been on a recruiting, and I've been having a lot of appointments.
Yeah.
And I love I see better than I hear.
Yeah.
And they'll come in and they'll razzle you, like they'll sell you.
Yep.
And so in my head, that's what I always have to use is, empty bottles make the most noise.
100%.
And so somebody who is, they'll fake it, but that's pretty much all they got.
Yep.
And then that's that surface level that you're talking about.
Yep.
So from here with the success of this team, like where do you see that going? Where do you see a lot of this success and what's your goals and your future goal for this?
Yeah, I think it's a cliche, but it really is a day at a time. Like, Joey does such a good job. Sometimes I don't know who we're playing next week, because you're just like, you know what? Like, we can't get to next week until we get through this week. Yeah. So we're playing Grand Junction tonight and we're playing Casper tomorrow. That's it. Nothing else matters to that. Like, we're just focused on getting prepared for those two teams and making sure we're at our best. And that's a daily just habit and routine. I think because we do that, I think it forces the players to fall in line. Yeah. because of like our daily schedule and how we handle it. But you know, sometimes they stray and they're looking down the line and you're like, yeah, man, like that doesn't even matter. Like just we're focused on now, right now.
So there's the saying, success leaves clues.
Yep.
And what's awesome is we interviewed the Rigby football coach, and he's won a lot of state titles. Yep. And he says the exact same thing you're saying, but in just different. And he's like, we don't focus on the end.
No.
We just focus on our process and what we can control. 100%. Yeah. And the outcome, we'll win most of those outcomes as long as we're doing the daily.
Yep. 100%. And like, it's just have a good practice. Like focus on, I just saw something with the, I think it was the Minnesota Twins, because spring training started and he was like, just win the drill. Win the drill, be the best player in that drill. And then when you get to the next one, be the best player in that drill. And you're like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. Like that's like, yeah, pretty good.
It's simple, but it's like, it's right there, right?
And we were talking, we did a line edit yesterday with 3 guys and we were talking about, what's the guy's name on Shark Tank, the ball guy, Kevin O'Leary? Yeah. So he was like doing a podcast and he was talking about, because he was doing business with Steve Jobs, and he was talking about the frequency that he would work at. Right. Like it was like 1 or 3 to 10 or 2 to 10. And like his entire focus was on those 2 things. That's it. And he goes, the only other person I saw that had a higher frequency is Elon Musk. Everything else is complete noise.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters. So like if you can, but that takes a lot of practice. Like train your brain to be that way. So we were just talking about that with a couple guys, and it was just like, and they're like, I don't know if I can do that.
Well, you got to realize too, I mean, you're, like we've talked about it before, but it's, you're saying, you know, to say yes to that, you got to be okay saying no to a couple other things, right? You got to be willing to do that. Yep. And if you're willing and that's still that important to you.
And that's the sacrifice you make. If you want to be great or you want to be good. Like, I laugh too, because there's so much stuff out there now. Like when I was 16, I don't even think I had like a computer or anything. Like, you know, and you're like there's documentaries, there's YouTube videos, and like Tom Brady did this. I would do the exact thing that Tom Brady does. The amount of focus and dedication and eating and all that. It's right there. He's literally detailing it for you. Michael Jordan, Last Dance. Everything is right there for you. Like there's no like secret sauce. Like, especially if those are people that you look up to or someone else you look up to, like it's all right there for you. So like just fall in line. Like but you got to be curious enough to go do that. And if you care enough about it, you would think you're that way.
And when you say that, what makes me think is sometimes me as a dad, I'm like, man, these tools are like freaking crippling our kids. But if you use them in the right way, and you start using them for a positive, I'm going to research this. I'm going to research that. I want to get better instead of letting it consume you and dead scroll. Well, and so I love that you bring up that point.
100%. And like the one player on our team who I've coached now for 4 years, he's been giving me crap since I've known him. And he's like, you know, like, how much stuff do you watch? He's like, is that all you do? I was like, I don't watch anything that doesn't help our team. Everything is to help our team. Awesome. If it's not, then I ain't watching it. And he was like, so every time I show a clip or something, he's like, oh, he just watches all this stuff that only helps us.
Well, it's good though. I mean, to have that mindset, I mean, that's kind of a winning mindset, right? I mean, everything you do is focused on that team.
Yeah,
right?
100%. And
that's awesome.
What do you see maybe as one of the biggest, like the hardest part of being a coach? What is it that you see? Because I love that you say that you set the standard, and so you're practicing what you preach, and you're like, this is what I consume my life with to help you. Yep. What's the hardest part of being a coach and a leader, and what is it that you see there?
I think it's two things. I think one is getting somebody to understand. They think they work hard. They think they work hard. They think they're a hard worker, or they think they're detailed, and then putting them in a situation that they're realizing that they're not. That you got more in the tank. Go. Like, we're gonna sit here and do this. Like, and then that makes them uncomfortable. Yeah. And then some guys either rise to it or they fall to it. And if you want to be in an environment like this, like we kind of weed them out that way. And so doing that and putting those kids in a difficult situation, and it doesn't happen overnight. It is a daily occurrence to just keep pushing and holding them accountable to that. And then I think, you got kids, you said?
Mm-hmm.
How many you got?
I have 5.
Holy smokes, good for you. You got kids?
I do have 3.
Oh my goodness, I got 2. I got twins. Yeah. But like, you have kids, like, make your bed, brush your teeth, put the clothes away. Like, all you're doing is reminding all day long. And it's the same. I find myself sometimes saying the same exact stuff before a game. I'm like, they know, somebody else can go up there and say the same crap that I'm saying.
There's a book called Make Your Bed. Have you read that book?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just talks about doing the basics. Oh. At least then you've got a win for the day and you're moving forward. 100%. And you just do the next one, then the next one, then the next one. Yep. It makes it
just keep building.
So much sense.
Yeah.
So I have a coach, and I know I've been, connecting the dots with just different people I know. And when you say that, that's what I was like, man, how can I get, these guys at work to do this? No. And he's like, well, have you told them? I said, yeah. And he's like, how often have you told them? I'm like, well, I've told them. No. And he's like, you got to tell them every day.
Every day. Yeah.
And he's like, you got to tell people every day.
Every day.
Every day.
And some employees are better than others, right? Like you tell them once, they got it. Cool. Yeah. He's good. Then there's the kinds that you're like, okay.
But as a dad, you're used to kids. Yeah. And so every day, did you brush your teeth? You need to brush your teeth. Yeah. And every day I'm like, man, oh my hell. You'd think that they'd get it by now.
No.
Right? But that's kind of how he explained it to me, is he's like, people are people, and you've just got to keep reminding them until they develop that habit and it becomes a principle that they know that they have to do every single day. And he's like, until you can embed that as a principle, it's not going to go. And the only way you can embed it is by telling them and reminding them that they need to do it every single day.
I was telling somebody about this, and I recognized it like last year. For like the past, maybe like 5 years, 6 years, all my teams have started slow. They've all started slow. Like, we were 6-4 in our first 10 last year. This year, I think we were maybe like 5-5, or again 6-4 or whatever. And it's just because in the beginning you're just pounding into them exactly what you want. This is exactly what it should look like. And they're new to it. So they're uncomfortable and they're like trying to figure it out, and they're looking at you like you got 10 heads because you're like, well, no one's ever told me that before. And you're like, yeah, no kidding. But
that's why I'm telling you.
Yeah. And then usually by that, like at the beginning of November, mid-November, it starts to turn. Yeah. And then we would go on a little bit of a push. Like I think right now we're like 15-1-2 or something like that. And it just means they're getting better. Yeah. Right? Yeah. They're getting better. They're getting more disciplined. They're getting more into their routine. They're learning more on the ice. And they're learning how to play through being sore. Yeah. Like you're working out every day. You got to learn to show up to practice and still max out on being sore, which some guys are like, well, no, I work out. Like, no, you don't.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, you don't. So it starts to click then, and you're like, okay, now you've reached that point of like, okay, we're good. But the beginnings, we always are shaky.
So I love that, because we've heard before, right? Like the beginning of the season, that's not what we're worried about.
No.
We're worried about playoffs. Yeah. We're worried about what's the end of the season, what's the momentum looking like, and that's what I love that.
Yeah, no, it's like we joke, we're like, we pick our team for March and April, not October, November. So it's like you might drop a game or whatever, but in the grand scheme of it, man, like as long as the process is going in that direction, we're good.
So the culture here has always been pretty good with hockey, not as strong as a lot of other places. But because of the Spud Kings, things have started to really grow. And I think that culture is just getting stronger and stronger. So what do you tell kids that are 10, 11, 12 years old, are falling in love with hockey and their goal is to maybe play for the Spud Kings or play in the NHL or things like that. Is it something you have to do year round, those kind of things? Are there alternative sports that can jump into that help with hockey still, or what would you tell them?
So it's kind of cool because after we did win last year, now, like before games, kids will come up and be like, hey, like, I'm going to play for you next year. And they're like 12.
Yeah.
You're like,
awesome.
Okay, cool.
Like, that's awesome.
My philosophy on it, everyone says to play multi-sports, right? Okay. Everyone says like, try every sport, like put your hockey bag away and go play baseball or whatever. And I'm a firm believer in that too. My kids don't even play hockey, right? But like I was the complete opposite. I would play hockey all the time. It didn't faze me. It didn't burn me out. My parents never pushed me into a situation to go to the rink in May or June. Right. I just wanted to go do it. So I always tell kids, I'm like, listen, if you want to stay in love with it, so just have fun playing. Like, just have fun playing. And if you want to go to the rink, dude, go to the rink. And if you want to go play football, baseball, basketball, whatever, we'll do that. Like, it's.
Do you think the multi-sports, I mean, I know it helps with just moving around and just getting more and more coordinated and athletic, but do you think a lot of it is to prevent the burnout? It's just different?
I think part of it is, and I think the other part is like you're working different muscles and parts of your brain, so like you're not hitting baseball muscles when you're playing hockey. Yeah. Right? So it kind of, in a strange way, like makes you stronger or a better athlete for hockey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you get to that point where you kind of have to decide which way am I going to go, and then you make that choice. But I do think it helps overall, trying different things and getting used to just working those kind of muscles to improve as an athlete first off. Not as a hockey player, baseball player, but just as an overall athlete.
Yeah. You hear that all the time, I guess. Like the top athletes, it seems like, oh, well, they had a scholarship in this, and this, or they had a baseball and football, or they had hockey and whatever, and hockey and lacrosse or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it seems like they all had interest in others. And I think it does make them stronger overall.
It does.
And I think a lot of that too is they get different coaching styles. Yeah. As well.
So I got a daughter, she plays basketball, and your thoughts on just coaching and what you see in hockey. I know it's completely different, but there's got to be some things that correlate. Would you say playing ball, or would you say training and practice? So if it's hockey, would you say play hockey more, or would you say more training and more fundamentals and things like that?
What's the age?
Age is 12 to 13.
Yeah, I would say like you get the introduction to training, like the push-ups, sit-ups, that kind of thing. Because now your muscles are starting to mature. But the fundamental stuff is massive. Like just the coordination, especially for like hockey, right? Like the edge work of how you can kind of move, your vision, like your hands, like all those things will stay with you as you grow as a player. And if you have those things, they're with you. Then as you get older, you can introduce and do more training and whatnot. Like you get to like, our guys' age, like they're kind of like at that point, right. And they might be able to like get 1% better on one thing over the course of the summer. But like your body, you can push. Right, so
it'd be you would say do more
gym for older.
Yeah, so do more fundamentals, practice certain things, foul shots, whatever it may be.
I would say like the ratio, it starts to, let's say it's 80-20, and then as you kind of get older, it starts to because you still always need to work on the fundamentals, and then you just kind of starts to get a little bit that way, because then you get older and your body needs to get more attention. Because you start to break down easier and all that stuff.
So that's starting to change right on that, 15, 16, right?
I'd say 15, 16 is probably it. Okay. I actually take that back, like probably like 14, 15. Because now, especially in hockey, like, there's some AAA teams out there that you're 14 years old and like they're playing 80 games across the country, and it's wild.
Wow.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we'll wrap this up. We know that you got a busy day and a busy weekend coming up. What would you say to just the public and those watching this about the Spud Kings and and being a coach and knowing what you know about this program.
Yeah, I think just, number one, I think I'm forever indebted to the city of Idaho Falls and the Spud Kings organization. I feel grateful to be here and just to be a part of something that's bigger than myself and our team's self, that these fans are so dedicated and they show up every night, and I just don't want to be reckless with it. So every day it's just trying to make sure we put a product on the ice that they're proud of and that they can support, and just grateful to be here.
So come check out Spud Kings for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hey,
appreciate
thank
it,
you.
Coach.
Yeah, appreciate
Thanks,
it, man.
Coach.
Yeah, no, it was fun.